Okay, y'all, right here, I got two of these beads. They're like ones that goes on the end of dowel rods for different things. I don't know. I've just got a bunch of them that came in a bag from a flea market. But I'm going to take some floral wire, and I'm going to stretch it out to 24 inches, and then I'm going to cut them down to 12 inches. And then I'm going to fold them in half, and I'm going to stick them up through that bead there. And then I'm going to take and fold down the ends where I cut, just fold them out so they don't fall all the way through my bead, so that'll hold it there in place. And then I'm going to take and make like a heart shape, and I'm going to, there we go, zoom it up, and push it down in the middle. It's hard to see with that wire, especially that black. And I'm going to make me some bunny ears. Yep. And then, well, apparently I'm going to keep doing it. I did both of them that way. And then I'm going to cut off a little piece of these dowel rods, this dowel rod, singular, and I'm going to take some Aleene's tacky glue and put it on that piece of dowel rod I cut off. And on the top where I bent those down, I'm going to shove them down in there, so that way they'll stay in place and they'll hold their form and they won't go anywhere. Yeah, that's obviously the staying in place thing kind of means the same thing. But anyway, there we go. And I do both of them that way. And then I'm going to take and doubly secure it. Add an Aleene's extra tacky glue. Oh, wait a minute. Extra Aleene's tacky glue. Anyway, and then in the other end, I'm going to stick hot glue. And then I'm going to try to sand those down like flat as I can. They already look kind of flat. And I'm going to sand them as flat as I can so I can get them to set up. Because I was going to do something different with them, but I changed my mind and went a different route. But anyway. So, and then I'm going to take my Aleene's tacky glue here and go all the way around. Well, not all the way around. I go around the edge of my ball there. And then I'm going to take and put a little teeny tiny dab of hot glue, like on each side. And I'm going to set my one bead on top of the other. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other one. And then, let's see, where are we going now? Oh, I'm going to paint them both in ivory chalk paint by Waverly. And I give them both 2 coats. And then I'm going to take this muslin fabric, and I'm just going to measure the little ears there. Now, ignore that nose and mouth, because I originally glued a little bead on there and drew a little mouth, and I did not like it, so I end up undoing that later. But I just cut that and I ripped it because I want it to be like frayed on all 4 edges. And again, taking my Aleene's tacky glue, because that's my favorite glue in the whole wide world. And I'm going to add it to my floor wire there, because I'm going to lay it on or lay the ears down on it. And then I'm going to take and add that glue to the front of it. And I'm going to like sandwich those little ears in between the material and just smoosh it down real good. And we're going to set it aside to dry. And I did that to both of them. And after it dries, we're just going to take and cut off all that excess. I'm going to leave just a little dab. I don't know how big, just on the outside of the wire. Of course, you don't want to cut all the way to the wire. And then, like, when I get it all cut off, I'm going to make sure I see where I'd sandwiched that together. And after I got it cut off, that I'm just going to make sure I get that glued down real good. But then I'm going to take my finger knife here. No, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm cutting off more of the... Yeah, and then I'm going to take my little finger knife and I'm going to fray it out all the way around. That's what I wanted to leave excess for. And then, and I do that to both of them, of course. And, well, I'm still going to keep doing it because my editing is terrible. And then I'm going to take these pieces of ribbon. This one Brenda sent me. I think it's so cute. It's like a beige and white. You guys know I love any kind of... Yeah, so, and I'm just going to take, again, I'm going to cut it down to the shape of the inner part of the ear and take Aleene's tacky glue. Just assume it's Aleene's tacky glue if it's in that bottle from now on. And I'm going to glue that little piece of ear, inside ear, down to, anyway. So, and then I do the same thing with the other one, except I use that pink and white ribbon, which Brenda sent me that too. We buy, well, not this year, ribbon from Sam's and share it with each other because it's such a big roll. Listen, I have pulled so much ribbon to put in that giveaway box for when I hit that 30,000. It's crazy. I'm sending y'all some ribbon. But anyway, Well, whoever the winner ends up being. And then I'm going to take these little teeny, teeny, tiny half beads, and I'm going to put them on for eyes. And then I'm going to take one that's a tad bit bigger, and I'm going to put it on for a little nose. Yeah, look how small those are. I think those came from Temu, you guys. It was one of those things they sent me 2 years ago when I worked with them. And I don't know why I'm still doing this, but anyway, just get them all glued on. And then, oh my goodness. Okay, and I wanted to show y'all what I do. I take a skewer from the Dollar Tree, and I put hot glue on the end of it and let that hot glue dry. And after it does, look, you stick down in them beads, and you can pull out 30 of them, or you can just grab, put them on like I was showing you that I did there. And I'm going to do the same thing with this little guy, the two wee little teeny tiny ones, and then the one that's a tad bit bigger for the nose. Yep. I realized I didn't edit that entire section. That's why all that stuff played. Oh my goodness, it's still playing. I am so sorry. Anyway, I'm going to take some more floor wire. I don't know how much. Let's say I took 12 inches, about a foot. Folded it in half. Then folded it in half. And then I just kept folding it down in half until I got them to be about 1.5 inches long, I'd say. And then I'm just going to cut them all down my pieces. And then I'm going to grab one, and I'm going to take this skewer and twist it around one way, then flip the wire around, and then twist it around the other to make them kind of whimsical. And then I'm going to take one end of the wire and stick it up inside a glue gun. You may have to, after you stick it up in there a few times, because, you're going to take all the glue out of it. Squeeze like your trigger a little bit to get more glue to drop down. And then if you got any strings, you just tap against the edge of the glue gun and it breaks them off. And I'm going to keep doing that and gluing little whiskers on both of them. Right there, it looks like she's got some kind of crazy mustache, but no. And then I'm going to take alien tacky glue, and I'm just going to put it all on the edge of the whiskers because it dries clear. I'm going to clean up a little bit though, to make sure my little whiskers stay on. And then I'm going to take this coordinating color, these pom-poms. Again, Temu sent me these 2 years ago. All those little pom-poms. Who would use all those? Whatever. Anyway, kindergarten class. Or preschool. Anyway, and the same for him. I'm going to take which it comes in handy, all those different colors. And I'm going to give them little tails. And then this this string, it's for making bracelets. I picked up a pack of those from a thrift store, but I'm just going to wrap them around my 2 fingers there, and then I don't know what I'm doing here, you guys. I have no clue. I'm going to tie a knot in the middle. I'm making her bow, but that string, it's just that string you make bracelets with, and I had a color that matched hers and a color that matched his, and I was like, that was pure luck. Anyway, God is just that good to me. Anyway, and then I'm going to hot glue it to her head. But let me show you an easier way to do this. I did it all crazy first time because I wasn't thinking. But if you take and cut off and then I took and made a little teeny tiny white bow, and I'm going to glue that on top of her pink bow. I forgot about that. And then, then I'm going to take a little teeny tiny pink button. It's not exactly the same, but that's okay. And I'm going to glue it to the center of her bow. Isn't this cute? So, okay, you put a piece of string in between your fingers. And then you take the other string and you wrap around your fingers how many ever times you want. I only did that about 6 times because that's very, very thin. And then you just grab your 2 pieces of string and you tie them together. And I double knot it. And then after that's all, folks. After I tie them, I go ahead and pull them off my finger. And then I'm going to take and, then knot it again. Yeah. And then cut off those strings because this is going to be his little bow tie. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. But, and then I take a little tiny button and glue it to the center of his little bow tie. And then I'm going to take these 3 stick things from the Dollar Tree. And then that little round wood slice came from Dollar General. You get 4 in a pack for $2. I'm going to glue those 3 on there. And then I'm going to cut up a bunch of reindeer moss that came from the Dollar Tree. And if you guys want, if anybody's interested in winning them, just put Bunny in your comments, and I'll draw and announce the winner next week. Lord's will, everything's okay. But I got those little carrots that Brennan sent me, you guys. I'm trying to use this stuff in my stash. And I cut them down different sizes. I had to cut those terrible tops off of them. And then I cut the bottoms off of them because you can't unscrew them. But I made them 3 different lengths. Yeah, like, you know what lengths are. But, and then, anyway, well, goodness gravy. No wonder this video's so long. I'm making y'all watch everything. So I hot glue them down into my, yeah. And then I add some Spanish moss to it. Now, I don't want big blobs of it. I like taking little pieces and, like, throwing it in there. That was way too much. That was a big blob. But, yeah, and I just continue to glue my, yeah. And then I'm going to take and glue my little bunny rabbit, the male, to, yeah, and then the female. I'm just going to hot glue them down to my little piece there. And I put them like at an angle, almost facing each other. But those things are from that fairy garden. I've had those for about 2 years or 3 years. And I was like, I could use this for something, and I never did. But I'm going to glue that one. It looks like a strip of little carrots growing in between them. Like they're at the store getting their groceries, for the week. And I'm going to take some Spanish moss and that reindeer moss, and it's all mixed together. And I cut it up real fine, and I stuck it in there. And then I'm going to take some little tiny pieces of boxwood. I just took a pick and cut it off, and I hot glued them to the top of my carrots back there. But I think these are just too adorable. And again, if you're interested in winning them, put Bunny Rabbit in your comment, and I'll pick a winner. It's Cracky Crackison time. You guys, this is all I had. Rhonda, that is beautiful. I got 2 cathedral windows I've got to make wreaths for. And that's just absolutely gorgeous. And, Grammy, I just love these snowmen. She loves snowmen, and she has done a great job. They are too cute. And then, look at Petey. Her name's Sweet Pea, but she don't like that name, so they call her Petey. But that one she calls a choir. They're sitting on her piano. She calls them a choir. That made me giggle. But aren't those... Oh, and then look at those snackle box instead of tackle box. That's a cute idea. I love it. Anyway, okay. I originally was going to take 2 of these cutting boards. I've had these about 4 years, you guys. From the Dollar Tree. And instead, I only ended up using one. But I'm going to pop the front off that one and start removing that paper. Because... listen, I'm redoing my kitchen, my living room. Oh, and then I'm going to spritz it down with water. And then I'm going to leave it set just a minute. I don't leave it set no time at all. And I'm going to take my, spatula there and scrape that extra paper off. And then I like to spritz it down again and run it over my sign to get all that glue off to make my sign not be sticky. And then, I just always take and dry it with my heat gun. And, yeah, and after, make sure you check the back, you guys, and if it's wet on the back, you get that dry also. But, I didn't mean to show you all that either. Oh, no, I'm the worst. Anyway, so, then I like to run my sander over, and then dust it off real well. Make sure you get that dust off there before you try to paint it, because it'll be a mess otherwise. And I paint it with Truffle Chalk Paint by Waverly, and I always hit the sides. When I used to have those furniture repair markers, those were so easy to do the sides with, but I can't find them at my stores anymore. I'm not allowed to shop anyway. So, this is my last time I said doing this. If it didn't work, I wasn't doing it anymore, but it worked. So, I'm going to take Ivory Chalk Paint by Waverly. I think that's which color it is. And I already painted my sign in Truffle, and I'm going to take Elmer School Glue, and I'm going to do the Crackle effect. So, this time I use better brushes. And I'm just going to paint my glue on. But I think my problem is if I don't get glue, well, some of it, very thick in one area, I always go back and add it. Because I feel like if you don't put a ton of that glue on your brush, anyway, it doesn't matter. And then I was doing my glue like this, but this doesn't matter either. It's how you do it with the paint, and I'll explain that here in a minute. But I'm just going to paint my glue all over my sign. And then, you guys, I make sure I totally saturate my brush. I make sure I get paint all up in there. Because every time I, like, drag a dry brush over it, then that's when it messes up. So, right here, like, see how I'm doing, like, different patterns? Because you're not supposed to go over the same place twice. And sometimes I do, and, like, you know, it will mess it up. But as long as it works for the most part. But when you paint it like that, like sporadic, I have learned that that's normally going to be your crackle pattern. And I like to leave a little bit of gaps in mine, too. Because it just makes it look more real. I mean, more, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like a piece of MDF from the Dollar Tree. So, see how it's just kind of wonky there? And I'm just making sure I get my, get it added. And then, you can let this air dry. You can set it in front of a fan. But what I'm going to do is take my heat gun and I'm going to dry and to speed up the process. And, now see how the pattern, like, okay, where I stopped and restarted, how it's going side to side, that's when I feel like it cracks sideways better, is where you stopped and restarted again. And see, and it does work. And I thought, well, am I crazy? And no, even down there in the bottom, see where I did that? See how it leaves that gap? So yeah, the way you paint on that paint is, it affects that crackle. And then I'm going to do the same thing to my little rolling pin. You guys, I literally have had these for 3 years. I got those from Hobby Lobby. It's in like a pack of 4. I got 50% off way long time ago. They were like $4.99, so I got them for $2.50. But I painted it white. And I'm like, what you doing, dummy? So then I went back and painted the whole thing in truffle. And then, of course, I dried it and didn't mean to show that either. But then I'm going to take and put my Amber school glue on the end of my rolling pin. And normally I can get it to crackle like thin areas like that. It didn't really do it so much but for me this time. But, you know, it was faint. But, I know I said but a lot. But anyway, you have to do this in sections. And I'm trying to only put the paint where, and look, I painted my thumbnail real good, where I put the glue. And, yeah, and then when I go back, see how I'm trying to avoid that paint at all costs. And anyway, and, yep, and then just put my paint on and then dry it with my heat tool again. And then I do the handles, and I do the handles in red because my kitchen used to be done in red handled stuff. You know what I'm talking about? And I gave it all to my daughter. And she wants to give it back. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll do it again. So, because that's what I was going to say. I'm redoing my living room and kitchen. And I just have no idea what to do. I'm just really... Oh, and then I'm going to take this rubber spatula and this whisk from silicone, whatever, from the Dollar Tree. And have y'all ever cut one of those? Well, I learned a lesson. It's got like a steel bar running through it. You cannot get that off. And now I'm just stuck. Because I wanted it to be shorter. But now I'm just stuck with an ugly piece hanging out the end. But I didn't care. I still used it. And it looks old, if nothing else. I'm like, well, there you go. So, and then I just dumped that out. But I'm going to take and, with one of these stencil brushes from the Dollar Tree, I start stippling that paint on the whisk part. Because I just thought it'd be easier to get up in there with that. And actually it was. And then... I'm so sorry. And that's, I don't know. That looks like plaster to me, but I thought it was ivory. But chalk paint. Anyway, and then I take this little makeup wedge. Finally found them. I've been looking for them for a year. And I found them last year. Trust me, I didn't buy it this year. But anyway, and I'm just going to stipple that paint. Because it doesn't, when you stipple it on with that makeup sponge, it doesn't leave that big, like, pile up like when you get your ceiling stomped. You know what I'm talking about? Or like when you use that, stencil brush. It's more just even. And then I'm going to take Waverly White Wax and hazelnut and the blackiness so much I saved it on the jar to reuse another time. And I mixed those together. And then just until I got like the color I wanted. And I just mix it up real good. And then I take like 4 small, very tiny. I do 2 and then I mix it up. And then I do 2 more drops of Burnt Umber by Apple Barrel. And I mix that all together real good. And that's going to be my color that I'm going to paint my spatula and my whisk handle with. Yeah, I know. Like, oh, you got talking problems. But anyway, look at my poor little handle there on the end. And then I take elephant and I kind of like just messingly just brush it like on and around my whisk there and not giving it full coverage. And then I take, I want to say that's gunmetal. And then I paint the rest of it. I paint, well, same thing. And then I take the metallic silver and I cover the rest of it. And then while it's wet, I sprinkle on some cinnamon. And I do this, you guys, and I'm telling you what, that looks like real rust. And then I take Mod Podge and I like smash that cinnamon in on my project, like wherever I want it. And this one I kind of went hog wild because it was hard to pin down certain pieces of the whisk. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, and then I'm going to take burnt umber and I'm going to kind of like distress it and then like hit those high parts on that spatula on the bottom of it and go all the way around it, up it, down the handle, because I want this to look like real wood. And it does, you guys. Wait till you see it. I was like, what? Girl, you go, girl. Anyway, it looks so good. But anyway, and I'm still doing that. And, oh, gee whiz. And I do my whisk handle also. But then, when I'm done with that, oh my goodness. And then I put like that burnt umber, like distress my, because it was like so stark white, you know what I mean? And I was like, I don't like that. So I distress my little paint roller. So I think these should be counted as 3 extra DIYs because, man, I put a lot in them. And then I'm going to take my Crimson by Waverly and do like a dry brush, like, because some of that stuff I had, you could see the brown paint underneath, or the wood underneath it. And because the handles were worn so thin, we'd been used so much, you know. But I'm going to take, and I'm going to do it to both the spatula and the whisk. And you guys, I'm telling you, this looks so good. And I just kind of dry brush it. And then I go like horizontally and then vertically a couple times. And horizontally and then vertically. And it just, I don't know. I'm really proud of it. I shouldn't be. Lord, forgive me for pride. I don't mean pride like that. But yeah. Anyway, so... oh, I'm still doing that too, aren't I? Hey, if y'all's new here, I apologize. But subscribe, stick around, stay a while. So right here, I'm going to take my square, and I'm going to mark in 2.5 inches and 5.5 inches. And then I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm going to go down, you know, you guys see what I'm doing, like marking, yeah. And then I'm going to take it 2 inches up from the bottom and mark a line across it also. And I tried to erase it. Yeah, that does not work. So, anyway, and then I just start making my lines darker up through there. I was going to do something completely different, but again, I went sideways with it. So, and then I take black paint and I kind of like, you see how I'm just trying to emphasize those lines. And I go across and up and down. And then I take a wet wipe when I'm done with that. And, oh, I thought I'd cut that all out. You guys, my editing's awful today. It's worse than usual. Not saying something. Yeah, if you're new here, I'm sorry. My editing's always bad, but not usually this bad. But then I'm going to take Aleene's Tacky Glue and start gluing my little utensils down here. You guys, look at that. Is that not the cutest or what? Oh, my goodness. It don't look anything like those little pieces from the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to take this fabric, you guys. Seriously, got this at Goodwill 2 or 3 years ago. And I just ripped a piece off of it. And I'm just going to wrap it around and tie it in a knot right there. And then I was asked to do some primitive also. This is kind of country, primitive, that kind of. Anyway, and then I got that ticking stripe fabric also. And I got it from the Goodwill. Same person must have dropped it off. And then I'm going to take and fold my jute here in half. And I'm going to lay it on top of my knot. And then I'm going to lay it out, and I'm going to put it like at an angle. See, the top up on one side and down on the other. And then I'm going to wrap it around my side. And then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to go down on one side and up on the other. So I've got that X shape in the front of it. And I'm going to double knot that there also. And then I'm going to take some of, what am I doing? Oh no. Well, I leave some stuff in that should go out and take out the other parts, but I tied that lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree from Miss Wanda Cruz Anderson, thank you very much, around it also and put a little red button on it. And I just took more of that fabric that I cut off that end there and made my hanger with it. But what do you all think about this? Is that gorgeous or what? I mean, I know if it's not your style, don't do rustic, do normal. It's inspiration. But I think that's absolutely beautiful, you guys. Look at that. Oh, no. Okay, y'all. Right here, I got one of those square signs from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to take and I'm going to paint the entire thing in Waverly Antique Wax. I'm going to, with Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off. So, I just wipe it off with a dry paper towel. And then, I got 2 of those, you guys, since I started my channel, I've had those. I got 2 of those, from the Dollar Tree. And that, chicken wire ribbon from Miss Wanda Cruz Anderson. Thank you very much, Miss Wanda. And I'm going to use it to wrap it around. You can use any chicken wire. I didn't have enough crafting chicken wire to do it. And I actually ran out about 3 inches on this in the back. But you can't tell. I fixed it. But anyway, I'm going to you stretch it out. It's real stretchy. So all chicken wire is. And you stretch it out and then just wrap it around the edges. And here I'm just going to cut off the excess. And I'm going to twist it, wrap it around to make sure no little tiny fingers get jabbed with it. You know what I mean? And then I'm just going to cut it off and take another piece and stretch it out and do the same thing all the way down the side. Just bending it, wrapping around it. And I'm not worried about it coming off because, because you'll see why. And then, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, and then to finish it off, I hook it to itself because those 2 both came down, And I cut it off and then again just hook it again to itself, making sure I wrap those wires all the way around so no little fingers get jabbed. And then, I don't even have little fingers around. I wish I did. But anyway, then I'm going to put my my sign on there. Now, I left that on a bit longer than most people. We didn't wipe it off immediately, and that's why it's so dark. But I'm going to take wire ties. Oh, I did drill 2 extra holes in the bottom there. I didn't even line them up because I wasn't really that concerned with it. And I'm going to take those wire ties and wrap it around my wreath form and into my board and tighten it up real tight so it will stay on. And then I'm going to take a bunch of Spanish moss. And you know what? That one did come from Walmart because there for a while I could not find any at the Dollar Tree. Okay, and then I'm going to take 2 wire ties and I'm just going to wire tie 2 sides of that together. But I'm going to continue to put reindeer moss and Spanish moss in it. But listen, guys, I just realized I lost some footage. You know those little tiny carrots from the Dollar Tree and those little tiny moss-covered bunny rabbits? I put, there. See, I'm so sorry. I put little bunny rabbits, one north, south, east, west. And I put the tall ones on the left and right side. And then the top and the bottom, I put the little ones that was sitting down. And then I put a little carrot in each corner. I'm sorry. I can't believe I lost that footage. And then that sign that I took off of my cutting board, I just thought, well, let's just use it. So I covered it with antique wax and was wiping it off. And where that paper's got that glossy paper over top of it, it was real slick, and it was just wiping off real easy. And I didn't want it fully covered, so I ended up taking burnt, and plus it made it look pink. And I was like, maybe those carrots fade or something, but they didn't. Anyway, I don't know, that's weird. But anyway, I take burnt umber, and I'm going to distress my sign and cover it, like dust it, I don't know. And do the edges real good. And then I'm going to put some little lines on my carrots because I want them to look like better. And then, and I ran out of those little carrots, or I was going to put some on there, and I think that would be really cute. Put those 3 little short ones on there. I think I have some somewhere. I just don't know where. I got to find them. But anyway, and I'm going to make y'all watch all this apparently too. And then, I'm going to take Aleene's Tacky Glue and hot glue. And I'm going to go all around the back of my sign. And, my goodness, you guys, I've let so much of this in. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm going to take and make a Kathyjodiys bow, just a double loop Kathyjodiys bow. In my last video, I think it was my last video, I slowed it way down so you could see how I made it. And then I'm just going to take some ribbon. That's fall ribbon, but I like using, because I like Rustic, I like using, that's just my style. Y'all use anything you all want. This is just for inspiration. But I forgot what I was saying. So I cut down a bunch of different pieces of ribbon. Then I'm going to make an X. And then I'm going to lay a piece across the middle. Then an X and then the middle. And then an X and then the middle. When you put that middle piece, it's a lot more full. And it just looks better. It's not got that separated like piece. It looks more like the Macy bow instead of, I don't know. And then I'm going to take a wire tie. And I'm going to scrunch all that up in the middle. And I'm going to wire tie it. And get it good and tight. And I'm going to cut off the excess, and then I'm going to fluff up my bow. And then I'm going to take another wire tie, and I'm going to run it through my wreath forms here. And I am going to wire tie my bow onto my sign. Yes, y'all will see here in a minute. It's so pretty. It's such a pretty bow. But anyway, just take coordinating ribbons, or mine may not match, but they match to me. And I dovetailed all the ends of them. And look at my big old floofy bow. It doesn't even need this other piece, but kind of did because, you know, goes with carrots. But I'm just going to hot glue this bow in the center of my Macy bow. And I got a big old poofy cute bow. And here it is. And I think this is so cute. I really like it. And I hope y'all like it too. And yeah, not bad, huh? I mean, I don't think so, but you can't really see my bunny rabbits, though. It just kind of looks like the reindeer moss stuck in there, but you see my carrots, so anyway. Yeah, I didn't know what to do, you guys. It's spring every day, da-da-da, and you know, I hope you like it, too. Okay, right here, this is just, man, I got one of those. I like those candle peelers from the Dollar Tree. They look like wood. But I'm going to take that little trinket tray, I don't know what you call it, from the Dollar Tree. I got it last year. And I'm going to take, thanks, Rose. Oh, shoot. Fix-All. No. What is the name? Is that what it is? Yeah. Fix-All from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to take that and hot glue. And I'm going to glue some craft sticks down inside of my candle pillar there. Or my candle warmer. Or whatever it is. So it will lay flush against the... But... one side was not laying completely, and it was driving me nuts, and I didn't have time to put weight on it, set and let it dry. So I just wrapped some jute twine all the way around the top part of my thing there. And then, yep, just hot glue and wrap and hot glue and wrap. Y'all know the deal. And then I'm going to take Waverly Antique Wax and start painting this entire thing. I do not wipe it off until I've completely painted the whole thing, top, sides, bottom, upside, downside, inside, outside, y'all. And then, after I do all that, because I want it kind of dark, because you'll see why, I'm going to start wiping it off. And look how dark that is. But you'll see why. And then, I'm going to take, well, still wipe it down. I'm going to take and put Waverly Antique Wax on my candle melter, wax melter. Yeah. And just wipe it off. And you do it the more times you do it and dry it, the darker it will get. But it does take time. And I did do it like 3 times. And then I go in, see, can you see it's getting darker? Yeah. Okay. Then I'm going to take Hazelnut by Waverly. And I'm going to start dry brushing it onto my box because I want to try to blend those colors together and make them match. And then I dry brush it onto my candle wax melter. There we go. Look, they're almost identical. I know. And then Miss Vicky Schaefer sent me those rub-on transfers last year. And I'm just going to take that one and put it on the bottom part here. And then I'm going to take 2 little pieces and put them up on the top part there. So sorry. I don't know how else to say it. And, you know, I don't know if any of y'all have those anymore, but I cannot find them. I haven't been able to find them for a long time, about 2 years. And I love those things. And I don't know why they quit making something like that. But anyway, so I took that little fish bowl originally. And I filled it with sand. And I got a little candle from the Dollar Tree. And, of course, opened it up and stuck it down in there. And it just did not look right. So, and of course I'm raising my wick up. I'm like, no. And I went ahead and decorated it. I put eucalyptus all the way around it, just pieces, and made it look like a wreath. And I changed out the glass. It's another candle holder from the Dollar Tree, and I think that one looks a lot better. And this one's just like, and then look, I put a candle in the bottom part and turned it on and forgot to light my regular candle. But anyway, here is everything, y'all. And I hope y'all like it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I mean, I don't know. I know that's like, to me, 1, 2, 3, 4 DIYs in one, you know what I mean? And the bunny rabbit and the little stand's like 3, but, you know, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I appreciate y'all so very much. Y'all just mean the world to me. Y'all just so good to me, and I hope I could be equally as good to you. Me trying to do these giveaways and giving stuff away to you all is kind of my way of giving back and saying thank you. And I can't do much. There's a lot more of you than there is me. But I hope y'all like that, and I'd like to continue to doing that. So if y'all would like to win the little bunny rabbits, just put bunny or bunny rabbits, whatever you want. But make sure it says bunny or something, because I put it in a random name picker, you know what I mean? And it draws for me. I could never decide between all of you, and that would just be awful. But I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.